Hello everyone, and welcome to Radio Free Valhalla. I am your host, Torvaldr Torgerson. Today's show is brought to you in part by Bjarki School of Axe Catching. Have you lost an ear or other appendage playing your favorite game? Have your friends snickered at your lack of form? Well then come on down to Bjarki School of Axe Catching. Learn all the latest techniques from the three-time Jutland champion, Bjarki himself. You will learn the underhanded spinner kopen, the overhanded splatten scarper, and of course Bjarki's own innovative Hildy duck and one-handed grab. We accept gold, silver, amber, furs, or the Viking Express card. Don't go raiding without it. Now on with the show. Since Viking season is almost here, I thought we would start off the show with the good old-fashioned Viking carol. Hit it, Sven. No, not with the axe. Turn on the music. Are you sure you're not a Norman? What? The mic's still on. Well, turn it off. Turn on the music. Yumpin' Yiminy, do I have to do everything myself? I'm beginning to see a lot of carnage everywhere I go. There's a leg in the tree up there, another across the square. A dozen heads all lined up in a row. I'm beginning to see a lot of carnage. Soon the blood will flow, and with the axe that is in my hand, I will storm across the land, lighting bonfires as I go. Saxons make jolly bonfires, but running them down can be a real pain. Throwing axe handy, isn't it dandy? Fly through the air and just striking them down. Thatch roofs don't need no kindling. Toss up a spark, watch them ablaze. The brightest fire can cheer up every man. Oh, what a lovely raid! Oh, what a lovely raid! Well, I don't know about Sven, but that sure got my blood to boiling and ready to ride the waves. Or does that catch the wind? Anyway, it's now time for the Viking Home Companion. Tonight's episode, The Varangian Guard, is brought to you by Ole Laftenschlager's Slaughterhouse and Fish Barn. Lutefisk season is coming soon. Ja, sure, it's that time of year again. Why do you row and row and row to where the lutefisk grow, when you can just order some fresh from Ole Laftenschlager's Slaughterhouse and Fish Barn? We go out on the North Sea every day and freeze our butts off so you don't have to. So follow your nose to the corner of Newton Rotney and select from our huge supply of lutefisk, guaranteed to be less than 10 years old and full of bones, just the way you like it. Now, on with the Viking Home Companion. You know, life used to be pretty exciting back in the Village of Skaugnir, back before they built the new Berserker Longhouse. You could walk right out the front door of your long hall and into the middle of an axe-catching contest, whether you wanted to play or not. And everybody knows that Bjarki, he's the champion axe catcher of the whole village there, but a lot of people don't know why. You see, Norseman being the Norseman is, Bjarki liked to go a Viking. The only problem was he wouldn't tell his wife Hildy when he was a-going and when he was a-coming back. So he'd walk in through the front door of his long hall, Hildy, I'm home, and psst, there goes the axe. Now, you know, berserks aren't known for being all that smart, but he was smart enough to know not to throw it back. He wasn't worried about whether she could catch it or not, he just didn't want to give her anything else to throw at him. So anyway, like I say, you know, things had gotten pretty quiet in the village, so we'd all decided if we wanted to go a Viking. So we all went down and piled into Halfdan's longboat, and we decided we didn't want to go over to England that year. You know, we've been raiding England every year for quite a while now, and they just decided that, you know, maybe we'd give them a break and, you know, let them stock up or something, and maybe they'd be worth raiding in a year or two. So we went east instead. And after a while, we ended up over there in Novgorod, and we was having a pretty good time, too, until the berserks got bored, and well, they started teaching some of the locals there how to play axe catching, and we had to leave town pretty quick after that. We did manage to pick up one new crewman, though, called him Ole. Because after he played axe catching with Bjarki, he only got one ear. So anyway, like I say, we left town pretty quick, and we heading on down the river there, and we decided we wanted to go over to Byzantium. Now, the only problem is that the river doesn't go straight down. You got to portage over to another river, and boy, if you ain't never portaged no longboat, let me tell you, that's an adventure on its own. You see, you pull the boat up onto the sand there, and then you cut down some trees to make some logs, and you shove them up under the front of the boat. Then you tie a rope under the front of the boat, and you pull it up onto the logs. Then you're pulling on the rope in the front, while some guys are pushing on the boat in the back, and when the log rolls out the back, you run it around to the front again. So anyway, things are going pretty good. We get the boat up there onto the logs, and we got the rope tied onto the front, and the berserks are in the back pushing, and Well, you know, that rope was kind of slick, and so they went to spit in our hands to get a better grip on it, and, well, the Berserk's got an extra bat that year. Lucky for us, we'd already locked up their axes in the sea chest on the boat. So anyway, we did finally make it down to Byzantium, but you know what? Them Byzantines, they just got no sense of humor. I mean, you pillage one village and you burn one church, and the next thing you know, you got the whole bloody army chasing you around down there. And we let them around for a little while, and we was having a pretty good time, but they finally got us cornered. 5,000 of them and 200 of us. Had us up on top of this hill and surrounded on all sides. Got us right where we wanted them. We just turned our bazooks loose and had a little party for a little while. But you know, that Byzantine emperor, he got no more sense of humor than the rest of them does. He pulled everybody back and came out under a white flag. He said, "Boys, you're mighty impressive. How'd you like to come work for me and be my personal bodyguard?" And we said, "You know, that sounds pretty good. What's your offer?" He said, well, you come work for me, and I'll give you all the beer you can drink. I give you all the food you can eat. I give you gold. I give you women. We said, well, you know, that sounds pretty good. But what if we don't want to take it? He says, well, I can't afford to lose any more troops to you, so I'm just going to have to pull everybody back, shoot you full of arrows. We had to stop and think about that for a minute. And then he looked at us and he said, well, boys, what's your answer? Well, we drew up rank upon rank, shield upon shield. We raised our axes, we raised our spears, we looked him right in the eye and said, "Yeah, sure, you betcha." The Viking Home Companion will continue after this message. Sven? Sven? Sven, put down the lutefisk and run the tape. Boy, if you ain't a Norman, you sure gotta have some Saxon in you somewhere. Just run the tape. Ice sail, that's right. We're selling ice this winter at below cost. Due to a mistake in ordering, we have an overstock sale. We are happy to announce that the idiot who ordered so much ice has been sacrificed to Loki. Come on down and see our huge selection of ice. We are the largest dealers of ice in Norway. We have clear ice, cloudy ice, ice with mammoth pieces, and novelty ice with flies and bugs, and of course the deadly yellow snow. The sale ends this summer. Hurry for even better prices than our summer liquidation sale. Remember, that's Skep Hedden's Ice House. And now the next episode of The Viking Home Companion, Halfdan's Funeral. Well, you know, a lot of people have been asking me how come Halfdan had to get a new longboat. After all, he had a pretty nice longboat to start with. So I went back to Skaugnir, I hooked up with my good buddy Sven, and he told me the story. See, it wasn't too long after they had built the new Berserker longhouse, and Halfdan, although he's not a Berserker, he ain't all that far off neither. He liked to go up there and party with them. And the last time he went up there, he had such a good time that when he left, he forgot to put the bar back across the outside of the door. Now, he didn't make it all the way home. He got about halfway there, and he passed out in the street. And right about then, the Berserks all realized they weren't locked in, and they got loose and ran all over town. And they found him laying out there in the street, and they rolled him over. Now, the thing was, when Halfdan passed out, he fell down on his face, and he broke his nose, and blood spurted out all over his beard there. And when they saw the blood, they figured he must be dead. So they had